Hey yo, what is up? About a month ago, I reviewed the K686 Pro SE, codenamed ISA, Redragon's attempt at making a gasket-mounted keyboard with the coveted talkie sound as you type on it. This is its predecessor, the K673 Pro. Retails for between $52, that goes on sale all the time, and the MSRP is $65. Now the K673 Pro is a 75% format versus the 96% format on the ISA. It weighs only 693 grams, super light, versus the ISA, which is about 920 grams, significantly heavier. And the K673 Pro is also 2.5 inches narrower than the ISA, making it even more compact and mobile. Now, with these two new keyboard designs, you can see Redragon is taking a different direction with, the modern, softer aesthetics that will 100% appeal to a wider audience, in my opinion, outside of their more, traditionally gamery look for their peripherals. We are so used to seeing the Razer HyperX type of aesthetics from Redragon. Actually, also these new keyboards seem to go unnoticed or flying under the radar of the casual gamer and slash productivity crowd. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the K673 has been around for about 6 months, and plenty of reviewers have made videos on it. However, in the 75% market with this specific layout and specs, there is a boatload of keyboards that compete in this space. How do you stand out to be noticed in this space? Well, firstly, you need a pretty color scheme that will attract not only the boys, but also the girls. So this is why there are two colors on offer. One is a more masculine color called Abyssal Blue, and then this one, which has a softer kind of color called Vintage White. To top it off, of course, you have the RGB backlighting. You can see you just cycle through with the function INS, and then the speed or brightness, you can press function arrows to brighten it up or not so bright, and then speed the cycle or slow down the cycle. Very simple to operate. You can change it up if you want to. For aesthetics, I'm giving this keyboard like a 7.5 out of 10. It's pretty good. Next up is the gamer productivity switches and keycaps, I suppose. The keycaps are not gamery, of course, but the switches are. The keycaps are for the custom keyboard gang, this type of color scheme, this type of keycaps, but the switches are the red linears for, it's going for that quiet clack. Now, if I'm honest, this keyboard does not sound anywhere near as good as the ISA. The ISA, it's just like this sounds like a pull-out custom keyboard sound, talky, deep, creamier kind of sound versus a more clackier kind of sound from the K673. If this is my first custom slash gaming type keyboard, I wouldn't be unhappy. This is just fine. Now the keyboard, like I mentioned, also has hot swap capabilities, which means you can reach in and pull out these switches anytime, and you can swap it out for better sounding ones, and maybe even attempt some simple tape mods or foam mods. You put tape inside your keyboard to make the sound a little bit deeper if you like. Some people like a clackier sound, some people like a deeper sound, so that's up to you. But fully customizable keyboard, change out the switches in a year or so if you want a different type of switch. For a beginner keyboard, custom keyboard space, I give it a 5 out of 10, easy. Next up is the connectivity. Obviously in 2024, you need to be like in 3 modes, if you want to stand any chance in this space. The 2.4 Hz dongle is right over here, and it's mounted right there magnetically. You know, if you bang it around, it can't fall off. I suppose, you know, that could be kind of like a risk. On the left side, there's switches for you to toggle between Bluetooth and 2.4 or turn it off, and then that's the power USB-C cable goes in there at an angle. The knob also controls the volume and brightness. You can hold it down to change the function. You can control the brightness of the RGB lighting, or you hold it down for 3 seconds, I think, again, then it becomes a volume knob again. You can also mute the volume or switch off the RGB mode with it, with this knob if you want. Features wise, man, I give the K673 a solid 8 out of 10 because it's got all the modern features of a new type of keyboard, modern type of keyboard in the 75% space. So, you know, you got to give it some props. But the main feature, of course, of the keyboard is how does it type. The keyboard is gasket mounted, which means the entire PCB inside where these switches mount onto, they're suspended on some kind of like rubber foam or silicone blocks, and this contributes to some of the dampening. However, I wouldn't say that this is like super plush typing feel. Of course, the thickness and material of the keycaps play a role in the quality of the sound, the typing. So the sound is acceptable, but like I mentioned earlier, the ISA beats this keyboard quite easily. You can hear the sound difference. The good news is this keyboard is designed to be upgraded. You can continue to add foam, do tape mod, you know, see if you're really interested in custom mechanical keyboards, change the switches, change the keycaps, and you can totally transform this keyboard if you wanted to. But fair warning, this is a highly addictive hobby. So typing and feel, I give this a 6 out of 10. Definitely can improve. It is a little bit better than standard. It is a little bit better than baseline. So that's why I'm giving it a 6. I want to mention there's also dedicated software for more, you know, detailed customization with macro shortcuts, or you mess around with your RGB options, you know, the usual stuff. It's very generic and it gets the job done. Now with that, let's recap with all the specs and the K673 Pro. This is 75% keyboard, weighs 693 grams, very light, very mobile, linear red switches. They are not loud. It is gasket mounted, which gives it a little bit of a nice typing bouncing feel. 3 mode, wired, wireless, Bluetooth to up to 3 devices. It's got a dedicated knob to control your audio or light show. It has a 3000 milliamp battery. I almost forgot to mention that. Redragon batteries, they last forever. My ISA has been turned on for 1 month and it has not run out of batteries. I don't know what kind of voodoo magic is going on with the batteries. I suppose keyboards don't take up a lot of energy unless you have the RGB turned on all the time. What I do have is the RGB turned on to reaction, which means it only reacts when I click on the keyboard, then it reacts. So that doesn't take up a lot of battery power because it only lights up when I'm clicking the keys. So that explains why the battery lasts quite long. Again, it also has hot swappable switches which are highly customizable, and you can have this keyboard for as low as $52 on the Redragon website. Really a good deal, especially if you're new to the keyboard scene. You don't want a traditional gamery black keyboard with shine through keycaps that light up. You want a more modern kind of soft aesthetic this is the keyboard for you. Redragon K673. I will leave links for you guys if you want to go for this really low price, fair value, great performance keyboard. That's the Redragon K673. Thanks Beryl and Redragon for sending this out for me to try, and hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.